kick this one away, and off it goes. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And out now come the Seahawks. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on off.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And he stopped immediately there. Jamin Davis, the rookie first-round pick, in on the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Montez Sweat racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return at 12 yards. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. And with the day he's having, as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week.
Whatever it is, guaranteed he will ask for the exact same thing each and every week as long as he continues to run like that. Sometimes it's that simple, partner.
Yeah. And you know how superstitious these guys can be.
Oh, there's no doubt, right? If you put your left sock on first and you have this kind of game, you'll keep doing it. In this case, let's investigate that pregame meal. We might need some of that.
Yeah, right. It's working. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. A give running right, Gibson. 117 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Dancing away at the 35. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Here's a give to Gibson. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And Washington going to add on to their lead.
This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again.
Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. To throw again on second down, Wilson.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On third down, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17.
Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards.
And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
Looking long for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Tom Brady, excellent in the victory, as his guys pushed their record up to 8-3 on the year. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And things didn't go so well, as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. Derek Carr, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Jameis Winston, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half, and they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half, and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for Washington, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. So here is Washington now to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. Second half starts with a run by Gibson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 169 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Here's Gibson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And they'll run here with Gibson.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, a run with Gibson.
And he gets it down to the 32.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Gibson here running out of the gun.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On second down now, it's Gibson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17.
Bobby Wagner, the All-Pro, in on the tackle.
On second down, it's Gibson. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game. And
touchdown! That's caught. Logan Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead.
And that third down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Slide for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawks offense now getting set to go again. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. How's he projected? Is he showing that the other team is getting to him? Is he showing his guys up front that he's upset, that he's angry, or is he still encouraging? Because those guys, they've got to find a way to pick it up, and it always happens a little bit better if they feel like the quarterback's on their side.
So far, 5 sacks against him, and that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Only needing 2 yards on second down. Here's Carson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
On first down, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Gibson. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Darrell Taylor.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now Allen. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On third down, here's Gibson. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw in that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
They'll go. It's Gibson, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Now Joey Sly for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Kicks it on the ground with a squib, taken around the 28. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 38. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. It's caught, block it. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And does Washington have it? They do.
All right, you got to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5. To the air, Allen. He wants it all for the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Sly on for the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw into the hands of Lockett. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Wilson to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And does Washington have it? They do.
And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. So Allen's going to look to throw. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Allen. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Allen. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Let's go. Let's go.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. On play action, Allen. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And this will go to Carson out wide. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Open man is Eskridge. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Washington, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.